Today I'm going to make a pan-seared chuck steak. Is it really as good as a ribeye steak? I'm Anita from KetogenicWoman.com, where I share keto and carnivore recipes and other cooking ideas that have helped me to lose 145 pounds. If you're new here, welcome. I hope you check out some of my other videos. Returning viewers, welcome back. I do hope you enjoy today's video. Today I am super excited because I finally found a steak that was labeled as chuck steak. They are few and far between here in Canada or in the area where I live. Maybe it's not all of Canada. Here, if you want something that's similar to a chuck steak, they call it a blade steak. But I've heard other people say, well, that's not really a chuck steak. And I don't know anything about butchering or all the, parts of the beef. So I've just never really been sure. Today I have what you usually see in the stores here, a blade steak. It's beef boneless inside blade steak cut from Canada, AAA. Yesterday, I was directed to a new meat store by somebody I met in Walmart. I met her. Her name is Nita, so one letter off from my name. I found her in the pork rind aisle. She was loading up her kids' arms. She had two adorable kids. Their arms were full of pork rinds, and my first thought was, she must be a carnivore. When she saw me, she actually recognized me from my channel here, and we started to talk, and she said, don't buy your meat here. Go to what is it called? Glenwood Meats. So for those of you who are in my area, I'm near Victoria, Vancouver Island. Seek out Glenwood Meats. They have chuck steaks. They are labeled as chuck steaks, and they look amazing. So I want to open this blade steak just to compare. Now, the reason I've been always trying to find chuck steaks is because they are less than half the price of a ribeye, and I keep hearing that they are just as good. So let's take a look at the, from a aesthetic point of view. This blade steak is $9.99 a pound. It's got a good amount of fat, and I feel like pan-sear, just by the thickness of it, pan-sear would be a good way to go with this. And this, a little bit thicker, but also has a good amount of fat and marbling. And I'm going to pan-sear this one for sure. I have tasted the blade steak before. I wasn't so sure that it tasted like ribeye, but it was a good steak for the price. This is $10.99 a pound, comes from local meat. Glenwood Meats gets their beef, from what I understand, from local ranchers. I'm happy about that. And I'm okay to pay an extra $1 a pound, considering that ribeye is 25 bucks a pound, in that neighborhood, give or take a couple of dollars wherever you shop. So I'm going to put this one back in the fridge for tomorrow, because I'm just going to cook this one here. So I'm going to do a quick pan sear. I like to use kosher salt and pepper. It's Redmond's kosher salt and white pepper, because I do not tolerate black pepper very well. Another thing that I do like to do, but I'm not going to do it today, because I really want to have my first meal of the day, and this is looking so good. I usually, after I salt and pepper, I usually let it sit for a little while. You can put it on a rack in the fridge, let it dry age. You can even do that overnight, and I know some people do it, for a longer period of time than that. But I'm I can't look at those steaks sitting there and not eat them. So I'm going to cook this right now. But before we cook that steak, I really want to take a moment to thank Element for sponsoring today's video. Element is a super delicious electrolyte drink that I have been using for quite some time, and many other people in the low-carb, keto, and carnivore space use it as well. With the cold weather coming, it's been rainy and drizzly and very cold in the mornings and evenings. I have been enjoying Element tea. You just pour some Element into a cup of boiling water, and it seems to take the saltiness away. It makes actually a very pleasant tea. So try that if you haven't tried it already. There's so many other ways you can prepare it too. Or just your standard, pour it into a glass of water. So Element contains a science-backed formula of 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. Right now, Element is offering to my viewers this 8-flavor sample pack. It contains all 8 of their regular flavors. And you can get that with any purchase from their website. The website is drinkelement.com/ketogenic woman. That's drinkelement.com/ketogenic woman. Your sample pack will be put into your cart automatically as long as you use my link, which will be below in the description as well as on the screen. Thank you, Element, for sponsoring today's video. Okay, so I'm going to pan sear this. I'm putting in my Carnivore crisp tallow. This pan should be extremely hot. The best way to make a ribeye or a chuck steak is super hot, super fast. So let's melt the tallow. Put your fan on because we want this smoking hot. I am going to do mine about 2 minutes per side. I tend more to the rare to medium rare at most on my steaks. So if you like yours done more, try 3 minutes per side. This is what I'm going with today. Okay, it's time to turn it. So this has been resting for a good 5 minutes while we dealt with the multiple alarms that were going off. What we should have done is open some windows and got the fan going because, there was just a lot. So I am super excited. I'm not even going to put this on a plate. I'm going to just eat it right off this board, my first meal of the day. But let's cut into it. Okay, look at that. So this is exactly how I like it. I tend to the rare end of the spectrum. If that's not you, feel free to cook it longer. But like I said, open those windows if you're gonna do what I did there. Take a look at that up close. Looks good to me. But is it as good as a ribeye? We're going to do a test and see. Gonna try another piece because it was a lot of fat. I love the fat. It was crispy fat. I want to try it with mostly muscle meat. It is delicious. It is tender. Is it better than a ribeye? I don't know. It's as good as a ribeye to me. It is certainly a better price than a ribeye. Please look for a chuck steak. If you're in Canada, look for the blade steak. Now, the thing with the blade roast, which is a little different, it's a big, thicker piece of meat, that requires low and slow cooking. But a blade steak, just treat it like you would a ribeye. And the secret is, a fast, high heat. It'll be tender in the middle if you do that and don't overcook it. I hope you enjoyed today's video and that you will try out this steak if you ever see it in the store. It is so much more budget friendly, and I will certainly rely on this. Now that I have a source for chuck steaks, this will be my go-to. I'm perfectly happy to substitute this for a ribeye. It is that delicious and easy. So we'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching today.